Do you have a notebook filled with ideas, wonderful, amazing ideas, and now you're trying to figure out what you should do with them? I can help you with that today. Hi, I'm Coach Aisha. My goal is to mobilize you, the Christian writer, so that you can share your unique voice with the world. I will be bringing you writing tips and godly encouragement. Before we get started, I do want to mention that if you are serious about learning how to write your book, I have a free writing bootcamp listed in the description box. It is designed to take you from organizing your ideas all the way to publishing. So I encourage you to go ahead and click that link to get started today. Outlining is how you build a foundation for your project. It is how you get organized so that you can write your book without the fear of writer's block. Now, let me tell you, outlining does take some time, but it is always time well spent. Whether you are organizing your free writes or putting your information from your mind map into Acts 1, 2, and 3, outlining, it's going to be helpful for you. So I'm going to share with you. I used to think something was wrong with me because I would just start writing and then I would have to go back and organize the writing that I did. But now that I look back on it, I just had multiple free writes that I had completed. And after that, I would just put them in order based on where they fit in my story. So if you're that type of writer, there's nothing wrong with that. Outlining is a fluid process. You may see that later on, even after you have written most of your story, you may go back and change things around. You may find that you return to the outlining process over and over again in one story. So I want to share with you the types of outlines that I've used. I've used the Save the Cat method, the 3-act structure, storyboarding, and the plot diagram. With Save the Cat outlining, you use what's called a beat strategy to outline your story. They have several books in this series, and I will say that this is a series that I return to often. The Save the Cat series, they have books on writing a novel, on writing movies, and really the first book was on writing movies. And I use both of those when I am working on a writing project. But one that I do want to recommend, and I will say that I put the link in the description, and if you click on that link, I will get a small commission for that, but I do want to let you know up front that this is a book that I use often and I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't use it. But I just want to say I used that book to outline my third book, and I feel like that was one of my favorite books to write. So if you're looking for a way to outline your story that you will just have fun with it, I do recommend Save the Cat Writes a Novel. The 3-act structure, I know that there are so many ways to look at this, but just to make it simple, just know your story needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And of course, there's more to it because you can't just have a story with a beginning, middle, and end and just think, oh, that's going to be what I need it to be. Of course, you want to make sure that you have good conflict. You want to have great characters. You want to build a great setting, but the beginning, middle, and end are your starting point. So even if your entire story is based on 1 hour of a character's life, you still need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when you're outlining, if you're starting at the 30th minute of this hour, you would begin this outline at the 30th minute of that hour. And maybe the middle of the story is actually where the character started out that morning. So you may want to add a note for flashbacks as you are outlining your story. And let's look at it this way. Outlining, it's basically the roadmap of where you want your story to go. So you want that roadmap for the beginning of the story. What are some points that you want to make in the beginning? You want that roadmap for the middle. What are the points that you want to make in the middle of the story? And you want the roadmap for the end of the story. Where do you want that story to go? So think of the outline as the roadmap for you completing your story. And as I said before, your outline is fluid. It can change. All of this is up to you. So if you feel like the beginning is not working the way you want it to, go back to your outline. Think about how you can change it to where it will work for you. Don't allow that to be a barrier, a roadblock that stops you from writing. Okay, another outlining process or strategy that I really enjoy is storyboarding. Now with storyboarding, all you do, you just get a stack of note cards and you just start writing your ideas. And you keep writing your ideas and you write more ideas. You write all the ideas that come to your head. You can write dialogue. You can write where the story takes place. You can write the beginning of your story. You can write the end of your story. And when I say that, you're writing like 1 or 2 lines on a note card. Remember, this is outlining. You're not using these cards to write your story. You're just writing 1 or 2 lines just to give you an idea of where you want to go. This is another roadmap that you want to use. And then what do you do with all those cards? You should have like a poster board or a cork board. I use a cork board. Or if you use sticky notes, you can just place them up on the wall. You can put them in order the way you want them to go. The idea is to put your ideas in order the way you want the story to flow. Now let's talk about the plot diagram. This is old school for real. This is something that you probably learned when you were in middle school or high school. A lot of times when we've used the plot diagram, it's usually to analyze a story. Reading and writing, they go hand in hand. So just as useful as this is for analyzing a story, it is equally beneficial for writing a story. And the plot diagram, if you remember, it kind of looks like a mountain. Now, in some places, you may see it just going as a straight line up and a straight line back down. It kind of looks like a triangle. But a plot diagram should look more like a mountain because there's so much conflict and the tension should rise and fall throughout your story. So it's going to look more like a mountain than a triangle. And at this point, I do encourage more and more and more drama because that's what drives your story. So let's summarize what we've talked about today. First, we talked about the save the cat method, and that's where you use beats to guide you as you outline your story. We also talked about the 3-act structure, and that's where you outline your events in your story based on the beginning, the middle, and the end. We talked about one of my favorites, which is storyboarding. That's where you just get your note cards and you just start writing down your ideas no matter where they go, and then you place them in order when you're ready to outline. And last but not least, we have the plot diagram. That's that old school character analysis where we use that to write our story. And remember, it should look like a mountain, not a triangle. Just a friendly reminder, if you're serious about writing your book, I have that free 5-day bootcamp in the description box. Go ahead, click the link, get started today. I really hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please add them in the comments. I look forward to talking with you very soon.